We loved each other too much, too selfishly, you and I, Jude, and now we're punished. Young Jude Foley lives in the sleepy village of Mary Green, but he often looks across the fields to the roofs and spires of the city of Christminster. He promises himself that one day he will live his obscure life in Mary Green and go there. He will study at the university, enter the church, and become a great man. But it is not easy for a poor boy to follow the path Jude has chosen, and life has many surprises for him. First, there is Arabella Dunn, the beautiful country girl who is looking for a husband. And then there is Sue Bridhead, whom Jude loves. Mansardi was born in 1840 in Upper Beckhampton, a village near Dorchester in the southwest of England. His father was a stonemason and builder. Thomas was educated at local schools and then got a job in a local architect's office, where he remained for 10 years. In 1861, he moved to London and studied at evening classes. He began to write stories. One of his early books was Under the Greenwood Tree, 1872. The book was quite successful and Hardy decided to give up architecture and become a professional writer. In 1874, he completed Far from the Madding Crowd. This novel already has some of the sadness and seriousness that are to be found in Hardy's later work. Other novels followed, all set in Wessex, the south of England, where he grew up. The Mayor of Casterbridge, 1886, The Woodlanders, 1887, and Jude Obscure, 1896. Hardy died in 1928 at the age of 88. A little blue sign over the door of the cottage said, Drusilla Fowley, Baker. This was Jude's great-aunt, his grandfather's sister. As he emptied the buckets, he could hear her talking inside the some of the other village movements. And who's he? Asked the newcomer when Jude entered. My great-nephew, replied Miss Fowley. He came up to me from South Wessex a year ago when his father died. Poor useless boy, but he has to earn a penny wherever he can. Just now, he keeps the birds away from for Farmer Trutham. And he can help you with the baking, I suppose. Hmm, said Miss Foley. It's a pity the schoolmaster didn't take him with him to Christminster. The boy's crazy for books. His cousin Sue's the same, I've heard. Thought I've hardly seen her since her mother. Well, I won't go into that, Jude, she said, turning to him. Don't you ever marry? The Foleys shouldn't marry. Jude went out to the bakehouse and ate the cake put out for his breakfast. Then he climbed over a hedge onto a path that led down to a large, lonely field planted with crops. Clackety clack, clackety clack. Every few seconds the boy banged together two pieces of wood to frighten the birds away. Then, feeling tired and sorry for them, he threw down the clacker. Farmer Trutham can afford to let you have some dinner, he said aloud. Eat, my dear little birdies. The birds, black shapes on the brown earth, stayed and ate. Wham! Clack! Jude and the birds rose together into the air as a red-faced farmer hit the boy on the seat of his trousers with his own clacker. So shouted through him, hitting him again and again on his behind. It's eat my dear birdies. Is it, young man? That's how you earn your sixpence a day keeping the bird off my crops. He stopped at last. Here's your payment for today. Now go home and don't let me ever see you on my files again. Jude downed his aunt at home selling a loaf to a little girl. Why are you back so early? The old woman demanded. Mr. Truth has sent me away because I let the birds eat a little bit. They are the last wigs I shall ever earn. Jude threw the sixpence tragically onto the table. Ah, why didn't you go to Christminster with that schoolmaster of yours? Jude helped his aunt for the rest of the morning. Then he went into the village and asked a man where Christminster was. Over there, about 20 miles away, the man pointed to the northeast, past Farmer Trutman's field. Jude's curiosity increased. The railway had brought him from the south up to Mary Green, but he had never been north beyond it. Quietly, he went back down to Trutman's field and up the far side, to where the path joined the main road. To his surprise, he found he was looking down on miles of flat lowland. Not far from the road stood a farm building known as the Brown House. Jude stopped when he noticed a ladder and two men repairing the roof. I want to know where Christmas is, please, he said. It is out across there past those trees. One of the men pointed. You can see it on a clear day. The best time to see it, said the other man, looking in the same direction, is when the sun going down. All flaming red, but you can't see it now. It is too cloudy. In the evening, when Jude passed the brown house again on his way home, the ladder was still there, thought the man had gone. He climbed up it, prayed, and waited. About quarter of an hour before sunset, the clouds thinned in the west. Jude looked to the northeast as the man had told him. There, now he could see points of light. The air became clearer still. Now the points of light showed themselves as the windows and shiny wet roofs and spires of a city. It was Christminster. The boy looked on and on, until suddenly the shine went and the city was hidden again. The sun had set.